So we finished the first flip, sold it. Tom apparently sold it for a neat profit, and now we have access to site to actually start buying houses and redoing and flipping them. And let's get this ball rolling. Let's find the next place to flip. I know we still do get jobs, like odd jobs. Yeah, we do. We've got like 2 here at Crayfish, 1 at Pinnacle. Nothing at Old Pinnacle so far. But we also have now access to houses that we can buy and convert. Blue Bungalow, more than a trailer. We've done some of these as jobs before. I remember that. We have 121,000. Let's redo the Blue Bungalow, shall we? Or no, let's redo the Lavender House first. Yeah, it was, I think, one of the first spaces we worked. A lovely suburban house with a bedroom, open living room, and functional bathroom and kitchen, partially renovated. Includes some leftover materials and used furniture that can be repurposed or sold. Might require some cleaning. These are the images. It's the bathroom. It's got a nice little space out back. Oh, that's the front. And there's a green paint there. Some leftover materials which can be repurposed. I think that's what they meant. Yeah, let's do it. Bye. Go to house. So it's at 55 meters squared, did it? Make your own rules. Flipping houses for profit isn't easy. You'll need to clean, renovate, and furnish the house, all without a quest list. Ready to sell? You'll find potential buyers in the auction house tab. Firstly, we need to mow the grass, obviously. Sell all the crap. Let's just straighten that. We're gonna head inside in a bit. I just want to scope this space out. Look, it's got a really, really nice garden. A really nice garden space. We can work with that. Definitely work with that. We're gonna sell this or trash it, whatever works. We'll plant a little, I think. Okay, so the game does not let us go beyond this space, so we have to walk through here. We're gonna make a nice, this is where a car would be parked. We should probably make a little walkway here, or you know, whoever's going to stay here is using that as a walkway. We can have a nice neat flower bed right there. Let's look at the inside. Can we just start? Yeah, okay. Kitchen. Do you want to open this kitchen up? Make it a... I would totally tear that wall down. Hang on a second. It's a bit disproportionate, but that's fine. I suspect this is where they put their, you know, the coat rack and the shoe cabinet. And then we've got the kitchen and the living room. I suspect we could have like a little office corner here. If it's up to me, though, I would totally tear this whole thing down. Absolutely would. What do you think? Should we? Do we dare? We should, shouldn't we? It just frees up so much room. Okay, so we enter from there. We have the kitchen, the living space, and it's got this blue going on. We're gonna finish the blue and keep the blue. I do not know what we'll do to the kitchen. We'll figure it out. We've got the washer, dryer. There's some storage space here. This is, I think this is very similar to the first house we did, except it's slightly bigger. And they've got these tiles we can repurpose. A very old-fashioned bath. Again, some furniture here, some surfaces here we can use or sell. Cement. This is the back. It's nice. Let's take a look at the bedroom. It's got a green. Bedroom, bathroom. Just wish could make this space a little bigger, but we'd have to like absolutely tear down the foundations and work with the roofs, which is an absolute nightmare in this game. No, we work with the bare bones of what we have. Let's just start trashing everything. And you know, once I'm finished trashing and cleaning, and we have a sort of empty space to start working in, I'm gonna resume the video, so I will see you then. We're back, and what we've done is mowed the grass, removed all the clutter. Place looks relatively... oh, it's still not clean. I tried to clean most of it. Figure I may have missed some spots. And in my head, while I was doing this, I tried to think of a personality of the person who's going to occupy the space. And what I think I want to do here is, firstly, I want to... you know, I really think this would be nice to have as just one open plan studio. Like, not to separate the living room, the kitchen. Like, sure, they're selling it as this lavender bungalow. But imagine if we could, at the very least, open up the kitchen and the living room, because I don't want it to be confined in one. I also don't like that very loud blue that's going on. We're going to change it. And another big change that I want to make is I think I want to sell these 3 doorways, kind of unify this into the bath space, the whole thing, and of course the laundry room. Let's not keep it separate. This is not a family occupying this home. This is probably going to be just one person. And what we can do is, what does this person do? Like, somebody who's not so fussy about most things in the... let's make this person somebody who loves gardening. Somebody who's young, not old, like not grandma old, but also not super young. Let's say mid-30s maybe, and they really like gardening. We even have a nice back garden to work with the space. We can have a really nice outdoor seating. Still don't know if I want to completely tear down, like, it's an idea I was playing with, to completely tear down this, make it all one room with the kitchen, the living space, and a bed, and then have the bathroom. I don't really know yet, but... oh, we haven't unlocked the sledgehammer yet, which means we can't tear it down yet. We need to probably do more houses before... like, more jobs rather than flips before we can unlock the sledgehammer. But I'd really like to do the sledgehammer. For this one, I don't think I want to keep it this way. So... I guess we'll come back to this when we've learned the sledgehammer skill. And we're back with the sledgehammer skill, which means we can now finally tear that down. So first of all, I'm definitely tearing this down. I don't really like it. I think it's getting in the way of a really pretty space. The question is, who's going to be living here? I think we earlier decided somebody who likes gardening, somebody who's between 32 and 38. You know, I don't mind having that much, actually. This is where the shoe rack can come in, the shoe cabinet. What do you think, huh? We just leave that much, and we tear this all down as well. Which means we do have this, the bit of distinction for the... we should sell that frame. We have a distinction. I was going to complete that thought for the living space and what is going to be the kitchen and eating space. What do you think? I think it's not a bad idea. We'll see how it goes. What I do want to talk about a little bit, maybe, is do we keep the windows? They look quiet. They suited the lavender house perfectly, to be honest, but they don't suit what I have in mind. I mean, it's not a fully formed picture yet. So far, just the whole gardening, which does mean a lot of plants indoors. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? What we do think we should... I should do is sort of tile and like the surface finish of the space where the kitchen will be. We can that's how we can separate the eating area from the living area. But yeah, let's totally sell those windows. We don't really want them. We put better ones, won't we? We wall it back up and we try to make it symmetrical, but we put other windows, I would think. Go. At least I am imagining that when we enter and we have the kitchen shaped either that way. Actually, that way is also fine. Because then this open space for the window is where we can have a little dining table, I should think. Another thing we're definitely taking down is... Oh, I should not have sold that. I want to take down these walls so that we keep... This can stay, but these can go. So that it really becomes one big bath, you know. That wall can be torn down completely. It just frees up so much space here, and I don't know, it just becomes... It feels bigger. Lighter. There we go. Roomier. With the high ceilings, that would be quite nice, I think. So let's... Very much is reminiscent for me. Sledge from Rainbow Six. I did play Rainbow Six quite a bit. And Sledge was one of the very early favorites. You can unlock him quite early in Rainbow Six. He's not a high cost operative to unlock. And then he'd just take his sledgehammer and smash everything in. Did not get... I have seen people get it before. Kills with the sledgehammer. Me, I did not. Oh, okay, I can tear down bigger spaces if I hold it for a little longer. That's cool. Okay, that's really cool. There we go. Yeah, and if I keep holding it. So, we freed up a significant amount of space here, and we like this bathroom, don't we? What a nice bath this will make. Very relaxing, very chill. Gonna sell that window. Don't like it much. Sell that too. We'll replace the windows, don't worry about that. We'll see windows here as well. And then let's sell those. We'll figure something out for these. The doors are fine. This one's a bit old-fashioned. We're gonna take that one. That one's okay-ish, I guess. We'll see about that one later. Okay, so here we have... What we could do is tear down this wall, and we can sort of pillar out the bed space. Maybe even make it a little higher, like on a platform. What do you think? Do you think we should do that? I think that's not terrible. The beams, oh, the beams just continue. I don't think that should be a big problem then. Yeah, let's tear it down. Our gardener who's gonna live here, is he male? I think he's male. He is going to like lots of green, so we'll make sure we have a lot of indoor plants and green tones. Earthy tones, more than green, really. Earthy tones would be great. Oh, do you see? Do you see that this beam is placed differently? And is that one? Okay. We'll change it. I think we can. I just have to figure out how. But I don't think it should pay huge issue. I'm sure we'll find a way. So indoor plants, we're thinking bedroom, not bedroom, because now we've decided it's going to be united as one room, like a studio sort of space, and with a really nice bath, luxurious bath, huh? Or semi-luxurious. This person, we've decided the gardener is not a fussy person. We will try to do really good stuff for the garden itself. I think that fits in with the person we're trying to cater to here. Okay, so first what we're gonna do is just measure out the shoe rack. Is it in storage? Coat rack. Shelf. That looks like the shoe shelf, huh? Medium shelves, small storage, wardrobes. I think this is shoe bench, that's what it said. So if it's just going to be that much, we can tear down the rest of this. Maybe keep a little bit for an umbrella stand, or the umbrella stand can go there as well, right? The reason is, again, to keep the space really open. See, that's nice. And I'm gonna sell that. We can put a better suited one later. And you know, this right here can be a little reading nook. We can make a little reading nook here. Right? Tell you what though, we're gonna... No, actually, I'm not sure. Okay, so we are definitely having a slightly higher platform for a bed. So this we can do. With... I know, wait. Shelf. Do we have like a single super low shelves? No. Let's see. We try with the bed. Bed with storage. Is there a possibility? Not really. They don't really have. Would be cool though. Right. So let's see if that's the bed we're going with. Oh, we've already worked with something like that, haven't we? We're gonna sell it later. I'm gonna have it. Where do we have? We should wall that windows. We should wall these windows out. And we make the windows later on, once we've decided on the placement of our bedding and all the other main furniture. You know, like the centerpieces. I think. Do we want a fireplace? The thing is, for the fireplace, we'll have to structurally alter the building, which I don't think I feel super confident doing right now. Okay, so here, this is the spot where I basically put a platform and make the bed there, slightly elevated. We can have steps going that way. Yeah, there we can even have a little stairway. Oh, and the beams. Let's fix those beams. So and I think we can change style, change size. There we go. There we go. And we can do it for that one too, so that it goes right up to there. And then we change that one to kind of... Okay, so it shouldn't go through them. There we go, that's fine. Maybe we can duplicate that. Have it like that. And then another one like that. And that one we can change size off to match right up to the end. There we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. We could put a window on that end. Right. Okay, so we are working now. First, let's decide the kind of bed that we want our gardener to have. Wardrobe door. That would be for a walled-in wardrobe, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be walled in, I should think. Yeah, okay. We can think about that later. Is there anything Okay. Single bed. No, we give them a double bed. They can have a partner later. They're cool. Something light but earthy. Maybe that one. Let's work on the colors. We want earthy tones. The base is fine. Maybe there's going to already be a lot of green going on here. Maybe we go to more of the brown, huh? The rich red too. What do we think of rich red too? Faded. Let's go back to rich. Mattress can be more of a white, perhaps. Well, now I feel like we need to change the base, maybe. Weathered driftwood details, also weathered. What are we thinking? Do we like that? I'm not fully sold by it. By the colors. European walnut. I like that. I do like that. I do like that. Okay, so let's see. That's where the bed is going. And I know what I'm gonna do. We are going to make those pillared wall thingies. I don't think you get what I'm saying because it's not very clear to me either, but resizable. These building blocks, by the way, are supposed to be super important, and I can tell you I'm already going to use one right now. They're resizable as well. Okay, so we're gonna, let's say, do they like to read? Maybe that thin, and I want it to be as tall. No, not that tall. Maybe that. I think that's fine. Yeah. And this is just okay. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna duplicate that and align that perfectly with that, so it has that little, you see it's got a little gap. Then we're going to do that same thing till we've sort of separated. Is the gap equal? No, I don't think it's equal. We have to move that. Just center it. There we go. Yeah, we're going to keep doing this till we have sort of separated the sleeping area from the living area. I think that's a good plan. So let's get started with doing that. And we're back after a brief intermission where I finished making those bars here. And what I did was lay out a foundation here and another one on top of that, so that we have sort of an elevated platform for the bed, which is, I think, really, really nice. And enough space here for like a little nightstand. We'll see if we need to extend more. And I'm very likely going to add a dresser in that space, a dresser or a wardrobe. This is somebody who I might extend the wall a little bit here if I want to really add a wardrobe here, but I think this is fine. If we really, really do need a wardrobe, we can put it in this bath. Make that you know what, we can already do that. Let's see, the wardrobe door, right? That was it. So this is a single wardrobe door and that's a double. Let's say if we were doing the double, let's say we've got the double and it starts right here. Right here. Then what we do is wall in that space. And we'd have a really nice wardrobe. let me see if we already have a wardrobe that we like. Oh, this is really cool. I think one of these is something that or that one. Let's see. Let's go with something darker. Because I feel like I'm gonna just turn on the light because I feel like it'll match that bed. Maybe, I mean, we can always change the color later if we feel up to it. So if I were to put that right there, here we go. And then we can have our wardrobe door just so. So we open that. Actually, you know what? I think having the wardrobe itself completely defeats the purpose of having the wardrobe door. I still don't even know how to use this. But I think the wardrobe there looks quite sweet. And then you open stuff and put stuff in there with space for hangers. We'll have a dresser there and maybe even a shelf. They're covered, I think. Let me just set them. And now would be the time where we think about the window. The window. Because if we didn't have that platform, the window is, I guess, appropriately placed. The bed would be lower. But since we did build the platform, now the flooring, I do like the wooden. I will change it for the bath, obviously. But I do like the wooden flooring. We'll keep that. So I just need to... Oh, we'll have to change it because I cannot pull Q to find the surface. Okay, we can find it. Amazing. There we have it. So we just finished lining up these patches that we tore the walls off. We'll see if we want to do the same for the platform that the bed is on. You know what? We should maybe have lights so that we can see better. I'm sure there's work light. Let's turn them on. Right, so there we have a rough plan. And time to decide. Oh, we missed that spot. What I will first do is plant windows and determine the flooring here. Let me ponder on that. Get the spacing right from you know, the proportions from the bed and the height and things like that, and then we'll be right back here. You know what? We can decide that, and then we can maybe change the style and the colors of the bed thereafter. So let's see. We have to go to wallpapers. There we are. There we go. A lighter gray. Color 1 can be a slightly darker one. That one. Color 2 is basically black. What do we think? It's still white, but at least it's got its own you know, its own signature look. The wall that's going to be where the headboard of the bed is, and I think we'll shelf it up. Have a little space above the headboard where we can also have some plants. This person finds a lot of peace in looking after them. What do we think? We like that, don't we? I think it's quite nice. The question is, let's do it there as well. Now, do we leave it just there, or do we also do that wall? I feel like we should also probably do that wall. Just, again, to keep that distinction between the living area and the bed area. And I think it's rather nice to set itself apart from the white that is dominating over the living space. I think it's rather nice. And these spaces, should not forget them. There we go. That's nice. And then we move our bed back. It looks quite nice, I would say. I am not sure how it will look if we were to cover these surfaces with it. So far, I think this looks quite nice. Now this side, we could keep going with that. Or we could do the green. Maybe we can pick a green which kind of matches the energy of the kitchen that we're planning to make, huh? So kitchen tiling. We need a nice tile. I would like to pick a very subtle green. Or that one. What do you think of that? Oh, we keep it abstract, maybe. Do we like that? I think we like that. It looks rather nice. We'll decide what to do with the walls in a sec. But I do really like this. Let's hope our gardener will like it. We're keeping this very specific person in mind. It would be funny if it turns out that they don't really actually want to buy the house after all. But well, we don't think like that. This is really nice. And I think I'm gonna probably put the same. I see a lot of those, like I do refer to Pinterest for inspiration for stuff that I want to do here, but a lot of the whole garden scenarios in Pinterest has the fairy lights thing going on, which does look really nice, especially if you're going to have a lot of time spending outdoors and entertaining. But I feel like our gardener is somebody who is not completely an introvert, but does like their solitude and get their hands dirty, quite literally. So we'll have to see how we can. I'm just gonna put this here. Okay, the construction, the paint bucket is empty, so we just get rid of that. And we have the kitchen area right there. Do you think I should? Thing is, if I were to make that one also tiled into green, it'll poke out into half of the door, and I don't quite like that. If only we could move the door, but it's iffy to do that. Right now we leave it as it is. Right, so we have this one window here. We keep... Right. So far, so good. I don't think I want a window there yet. Might change my mind later on. How are we feeling about that maroon? I think it's still good. That's still okay. Not sure about that. Maybe we could do a quick style and paste. Nothing changed really, except like this line, small lining there. That's okay. It's okay. We'll start out with the kitchen. Huh? Kitchen. The option to cook a lot and have a really nice, well-equipped kitchen for it. I think that might be doable. I'm gonna brainstorm a bit on this, and then we'll be right back. Let's head back to Lavender House and to our construction. So far we sort of defined the bed space with the separate wallpaper and also the kitchen, although it's a fully open plan, as you can see. The kitchen with the green marble tiles. We'll add the bits and bobs later. We just want to think about all the centerpiece vanishing so we can determine things like window placement. And you know, I'm not fully opposed to having a window behind the sink there. We do have to add the dresser here. You know what? We can already do that. We've gone so far with... I think this one is a home front. Can we open it? It's a double button logo. Yeah, you are home for it. Perfect. So what we need to do is look for a dresser which sort of matches that company, because I know that this game has certain buyers that are very finicky about wanting just one brand. Dresser. Did we not add that filter? I thought we added that filter. Home for accept. Filters. It still did not filter it out. That's fine. You just have to see. These are home forts. I know. This is one. This one's. What are we thinking? Do we like that? We do like that, don't we? Actually, I'm gonna change the bed because I know that there is a bed which does the storage thing. Was it that one? No, this is the one we have right now, but I know there's definitely a bed. You can even just put that like a very low one. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna sell this one. And we're gonna put that. And this even leaves some room. Actually, no, let's completely have it hugging the wall there. We're still deciding on the dresses. We found the home for one. It's this one. My problem with this one is that the lowest, it does open fully. Holy shit. Okay. And let's have you hugging the wall there as well. No, you don't. Absolutely don't squeeze in there. Maybe a cabinet, like a tall one, similar to what we have in the bath. Something like that. Or that. Do you fit there? You do fit there. That is perfect. I mean, it could be that the door at the very bottom will not open. Yeah, that's an easily solvable problem, because what we can do is we can brick that up, that portion up. Yeah. And we have to, of course, put the surface, which I think I left it on the porch there. There we go. That's the surface. And now, that should be a non-issue. This is becoming a very snuggly, very neat, snuggly place. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, or think about doing, we see how far we get, is sort of build this whole shelving unit to give a very nooky, cozy, snuggly feeling to the bed. And I think instead of having the nightstand, we can sort of duplicate this shelf and make it work like a nightstand. So let's try doing this. So we've got this so far. And if I were to just take that here, it needs to be a little further in. That's a bit too much. That's good enough. And lower. Okay. Now, if I were to take this shelf, let's say, misclicked. No problem, we can reduce the size. Maybe. Yes, isn't that perfect? And now we have to change its size again to fit it just perfectly. So, sort of like a modular unit. I mean, what? I don't know if we can really make that. Oh, we can. We can absolutely make it hug. I think this can still go further. Not one. Oh, that's brilliant. Let's do the same. Yep. You know what? I'm really liking that. So I'm going to try to replicate this and make the whole sleeping area feel very cozy. Let's do that, and then let me show you what that looks like. So what I've done here is used this and this shelving, mostly this one, to raise this little platform above the bricked platform that we already created. So it gives this illusion of storage space. Now that's a bug because the lower part of the shelf is merging with the flooring, but that's fine. It's a visual bug. The person in real life is not really going to see it like that. And then we've got this modular shelving thing going on, and I think we'll put a lot of books in there because our gardener is a reader, Gimli's a reader apparently, and we'll have maybe a figurine or two. We'll have potted plants. So I think this one will do nicely, and I just like the idea of this storage space. It's cool, I think. Now, to tackle with what I've been avoiding to tackle, the bathroom. Anyway, earlier we talked about putting a window there, but I think with the shelving we shouldn't have the window, and this window's good enough. I mean, it gives this little view, and this space seems open enough. We could think about a skylight, but really I'm fine with the way things are right now. So onwards to the bathroom. Let's see. Actually, first, before we get to the bathroom, I promise I'm not putting it off. I want to see if we can lay down a resizable carpet. Maybe white. Right there. Extend it up to there. All the way to the back. I think this looks quite nice. Should we do it with the stairs too? I think this is fine. And for those who are being triggered by the visual bug is now gone. Yeah, I think this is turning out to be quite nice. Let's think about what to do here with the bathroom, then we can get to the fun interior decorating bits. Okay, so did some thinking about the bath and what I want to do to keep in line with the soft yet earthy tones we've got going is to do the flooring a sort of like a grey marble or a grey tile, and then to tile this white, but not the same as what it is already. Let's see what options we have. Set as finishes, tiling, there we go. Marbles, grey marble tile. You know what, that's just perfect. Maybe we can take this and make the cut pattern size a bit big. Yeah. And I think this will totally I'm gonna try to find one and do it. And we did that. And time to do the lights. What kind of lights do you like in your bathroom? Do you want it to be bright, or do you want like a single centerpiece?
Victorian style.
What is that supposed to mean? What is Victorian style? I don't think the Victorians had. I mean, sure, electricity came a little later, but they used candles and lanterns, and somebody made their baths from them. If you're talking about the rich Victorians, holy moly, terrible, terrible decision to ask. Let's see what all options I have for lights. Victorians did not have lights.
How on earth do a few words of mine have such incinerating power?
It's because you said something that's just
So
not making
controversial.
sense. It's
So
not
controversial.
It's not controversial. It just didn't happen.
Of course
Controversial.
they had lights.
They didn't have electricity then.
Yeah, but
They used lanterns.
candelabras.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're too fancy for me and my less than 20,000 coin budget. I would really like something. I'm not opposed to something like this and have many of these. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Oh, before that, we should. Yeah, okay. First, we do the mirror because I think that one's key. Is that okay? I think it's totally fine. Maybe a little higher. So we can probably sneak in a little shelf there. This game is not great for people who have, I mean, or on the other hand, it's super great for people who have ADHD because it's like you're constantly distracted. Oh, I have to do this, and now I have to do this, and now I have to do this. And let's. Okay, that did not change anything, but that's fine. Now the lights. So after adding bits and bobs into the place, we've transformed it a little bit. The inside is livable, and I thought, hey, it looks like a space where two people could live, so I made a few changes which you're now going to see. And there we go. So we enter, and this is the entryway. This is where we have the shoe rack, a key holder, and some poppy seed cake with a little breakfast nook, lots of plants. Like we decided this is somebody who likes to garden, or a couple that likes to garden. We've got a bread bin, some little decoration there. There's a tea set. There's coffee, tea, honey, and glasses and a kettle up there. This is empty largely for whoever moves in can choose to just fill the space up. We've got a trash can in here under the sink, which is usually where people do have trash in the kitchen. The dishwasher, we've got cutlery, plates and bowls, a casserole. We've got a weighing scale there and pizza tray, pizza board, and strange, can't seem to open that. I do not know why it does that, but apparently it's doing that. Okay. The game sometimes does these glitchy thingies. We've got the oven with the muffin trays. So the little things, I think when you put it in the house, it really looks lived in, looks better than coming to something completely empty. we've got flour, coffee, sugar, sauces, spices, and some spice jars here as well for the person to fill it. Some boxes here to put all kinds of things. We've got a full fridge with some vegetables, and we've got ice cream in there as well, and some leftovers. This person has a sweet tooth, or both of these people have sweet tooth. And then here we are, there's a little workstation here. I thought maybe the person who does love to garden and lives here works as sort of like a landscaping consultant. So they have a work desk where they're consulted and posted, and I've sneaked in a little picture of Vi from Arcane because she's my favorite character. And since they love gardening, we've got a lot of indoor things, plants that they care for, which I think really livens up the place. We've got a little stove here to keep them warm during cold weather, and aircon and a fan for when it's really hot. And then we've got the remote there. We've got a few magazines here for them to pass the time. The serving bowl has some grapes to eat. So there is the living space. And a mirror here to check yourself out before you head out. And then we have the bedroom. So as you can see, the bedroom's slightly darker looking. I mean, it's got the bedroom aesthetic, and it should make you feel wanting to, rest, to sleep. That's what I went with. We've got an extra bed right under here for when they have a visitor staying over, because this furniture here is really movable, so they can set somebody up for the night, because I feel like this is somebody who does like to entertain a friend or two. They've got slippers and ironing board there. There's a little snack drawer here where they have candy and snacks for when they feel like it. Perfume and some money. And there's a few boxes there. And again, to just make the place look lived in. This yoga mat, a backpack, another picture of White that I sneaked in, some books, a cap, and again, lots of flowers and plants there. There's a board game, a picnic blanket, and a picnic basket for when they decide to go picnicking. So, and some planters here as well. Some coffee. There's a smart band there for somebody who's into fitness. Coffee mug as well here, and a phone and some drinks. There's a night cream there. Also a book. This one is How to Make Everything Bloom, which I felt like was a fitting book to have. So that's our bed space, and now we come to the bathroom, where we have this little laundry corner here where they can put, fabric softener and things like that. There's a suitcase up there, a laundry basket right here. There's a backpack and a handbag. There are some shoes, caps and a hat, 2 duffel bags for when they're traveling, and sorry about that. There is cosmetics, serum, eyeshadow for when it's a woman moving in, or can be a girlfriend or a sister who likes to keep her stuff here as well because she visits often. Under the sink, we've got some detergent, some cleaning stuff. There's toilet paper and a box of tissues there. This is a shaving station, and we've got a towel. And 2 toothbrushes with toothpaste and some cleanser. And then this is the bathing area with soap, shampoo, and whatnot. Towels again. And that's basically it. That's what we have on the inside. And now it's time to start brainstorming about the outside, what we're gonna do with the garden. I feel like we need to really do well on the garden, because this space looks like somewhere I would totally live. I would love to live here. And so we have to make the garden really nice to match the vibe here. But that's for the next episode. So that's it for now.